Is it too late to make a video on Squid Game? Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Zhariya Smith and I typically make commentary videos just like this one. So if you like that or my gorgeous face, you can subscribe to me if you want to. Today's candle is whipped coffee because I just love being reminded of work when I'm not at work, you know? Today's video is really interesting because I really wasn't expecting to make a video on Squid Game. There are many other creators who have made videos on Squid Game or Squid Game related things like Hunkin Dassner, which is a great video and you should watch it definitely. But I kind of felt like there was nothing that little old me could add to the conversation. But then Mr. Beast decided to make a Squid Game recreation that he announced he was going to be doing, I believe, like 7 weeks ago, something like that. And I was kind of skeptical. I was one of the people that were very angry that Mr. Beast was making a Squid Game video because he kind of missed the point of the entire show, which I'm going to get into. But yeah, so I kind of just wanted to kind of analyze and talk about kind of like the ethics and moral implications of Mr. Beast making a Squid Game video, recreating the entire set, having the exact amount of contestants, and having a bunch of people that really need money compete for so much money, which was the point of the show, but also kind of like missing the point of the show. But that was a long explanation, but let's just get into the video. So I feel like we can't really talk about Squid Game and Mr. Beast until we kind of lay the groundwork. We lay the foundation, not like the foundation of Naruto, but like lay the foundation of what game shows really are and why people watch them. So game shows is a genre of broadcasting, usually on radio, television, YouTube, live streams, whatever it is. People will compete against each other doing various games and they will win a certain prize. And game shows have kind of been a thing for a really long time. I believe the first game show was Spelling Bee in like the 1930s. So like game shows have been a thing for a really, really long time, and honestly one of the most comforting family-led genres I feel like in the US right now. Game shows typically have people solve, whether it's puzzles, they have to do random guesses, they have to, you know, answer questions, they have to do physical activities. It's just like a lot that goes into game shows and what game shows are, and I think that seeing people compete against each other and humiliate themselves and all this stuff for entertainment is not something that is entirely brand new, and is a huge critique of capitalism in itself, because why should a person have to go on a game show to make, I don't know, $100,000 because they're literally struggling and need that money? Why is a person having to do that? Why is there a loophole in the system that, oh, you can make a lot of money, but you have to in turn kind of suffer to get there? But yeah, so the first game shows came out in the 1930s, and then they started evolving in the 40s, the 50s, the 60s. I would personally say that I feel like the game shows had like a humongous boom in like the 90s to the early 2000s, because the amount of game shows that I had at my disposal when I was little was honestly insane. I loved watching Wipeout. I also really enjoyed watching Jeopardy, Deal or No Deal. The little one with the wall where like the ball went down and they had to like make it fall in a certain spot to win the prizes. There are so many sweepstakes, there are so many things you can do, and that's still something that is happening today. Like, people will still go on game shows. We see on YouTube, there are videos that gain hundreds of millions of views for people competing for money when they're the ones that need the money. And this is where Mr. Beast kind of came in and kind of filled the hole in the market to an extreme. I kind of want to also talk about like why we enjoy game shows. Like, why did people like Mr. Beast gain so much popularity online for giving away large sums of money to people and making them do various tasks, like the last person that takes her hand off of this Lamborghini wins a Lamborghini. And it's like, why is that something that people are doing? You know, I personally, though they're really cute, would never want a Lamborghini, because I know I would pull who did that? Kevin Hart. I pull it off the lot and I immediately get in a car accident. That would happen to me. I have a Honda Civic and I zoom. I zoom everywhere, and it's already dangerous, so no Lamborghinis are a big no for me. But we enjoy watching people compete. I don't know if it's kind of like we internally love watching other people suffer, because, you know, kind of like the seeing a baby fall down in the in like Walmart and hearing them cry and then laughing. That honestly, is that normal? Let's just move on. But I feel like people love watching game shows, and they love watching people, you know, do these things. And I mean, I think one of the reasons why I loved watching shows like Jeopardy was because it almost felt like I was playing along with them. Like, I was learning random facts. I was, you know, laughing at people for not being able to, you know, figure out the answer to a question, or watching like Who Wants to Become a Millionaire. Was that the name of the show? Millionaire? Whatever. I love watching that show and watching people like break down and phone a friend and trying to figure out like how to get this answer. But it's like, we are all the people in Squid Game spectating on people literally fighting for their lives just to win a couple $1,000 or $100,000 so they can survive. And that's a little bit wrong, isn't it? Since I am a 2000s kid, one of my favorite shows growing up was Total Drama Island, World Tour, all the iterations, but specifically Total Drama Island. I loved Total Drama Island, and I do think that Gwen should have won season 1 for sure. Well, actually, Lashana should have won, but that's a whole other thing we're not going to get into. I love Total Drama Island, and Total Drama Island was a critique of those reality TV shows like Survivor and all those other things where it's like you have to literally risk your life just to win $100,000, which is something that some people don't even make in their whole lifetime, you know? So that's really, you know, just something that I feel like is kind of ethically messed up. I don't really watch game shows like that anymore, because I kind of recently kind of sat back and I was like, this is kind of wrong. This is kind of iffy, you know? But I've been giving you guys way too much background, so I'm just going to go ahead and talk about Squid Game. Squid Game is a show where 456 people get together. I say get together like it's a party. This is a South Korean TV show. So this is basically a huge commentary on the issues with capitalism within South Korea. But we see that these characters have issues, whether it's gambling or not being able to pay for medical expenses, embezzlement, so many horrible things that people have gotten themselves into because of this drive and this need to have so much money because of capitalism. And they all end up joining this game where they have to compete to the literal death. I'm not lying. And they have to basically win this game in order to get, what is it? 45.6 million wuhan? I believe maybe it was billion. Whatever. I haven't watched the show literally in months at this point, so I'm sorry if I don't remember. But this game was a huge commentary on why these people felt the need that they had to literally risk their lives just to be able to pay for their mom's medical expenses, or be able to get out of the amount of massive debt you've accumulated from a top business school, you know, or situations like with Ali, where he joined the games because he needed to pay for money because he had been working for a job for 6 months and he never got paid. Like, some stuff that genuinely does happen to people. And I think that this show does a really good job of showing that, like, oh, these people have to risk their entire lives just so they can be able to survive. And there are people that are watching them. And I feel like also the watchers kind of symbolize the audience in a way too, because it's like, we love seeing people risk their lives. We love seeing these things for people to win money because we think it's fun. We think it's funny. We think it's entertainment, because we've honestly have this idea of lacking of empathy for other human beings. And I'm not saying that that's me, but I'm saying, like, in general, we see these things, we don't really appreciate human life, you know? And I think it's really upsetting and horrible. And we see in the show that the elites or whatever are watching these people literally kill each other for money, because they know if they don't get that money, then their lives are ruined, if their lives aren't any ruined in the first place. And we see the winner, he went back to the games to pay for his mom's medical treatment. However, he gets home and she's dead. He didn't make it in time. And that's something that's horrible and shouldn't be a thing. People shouldn't have to do that, just to be able to pay for medical bills. When we see a show that has that much, heavy meaning behind it, it is really funny, and not funny like haha funny, but funny like ironic, that all of these rich YouTubers are making Squid Game in real life videos and are making a trend out of a show that is meant to critique the very thing that they are doing. It's really ironic to me, and I think it's really horrific too. So now let's talk about Mr. Beast and this show. Now what's funny to me is that, I think it was number 67 in Mr. Beast's thing didn't even watch Squid Game. She had no idea what she was doing, and honestly, I want to know how people were able to join the Squid Game thing. I know that he told people, buy my merch and you could be submitted to be in the show or whatever, but I think it's really interesting. I think that, first of all, Mr. Beast making it so people had to purchase something in order to get money, I think it's kind of wrong and not right. But I also think that I have this new term that I have been using a lot when it comes to bigger YouTubers taking ideas from other people fully and ripping it off. And I call it creative imperialism, which is really extreme. But I do think it's really interesting that a white man took a South Korean TV show about how horrible capitalism is and then capitalized on it. Literally, the definition. He creatively imperialized this entire show. And there was this one tweet that I saw. I can't think of it right now, and I didn't put it in my notes, but this guy said, Netflix made Squid Game and it took them 10 years and it only got 100 million views in the first 4 days. And it took him 7 weeks to make it, I get it. But it's he literally took a direct copy of the original, except for the last game. And also, the violence is, not happening in the, recreation. Though it would have been crazy if it would have been. It kind of reminds me of that movie Spree. If you haven't watched that, it's on Hulu. Chef's Kiss. Joe Keery is in it. Is that his name? Very good movie. But that aside, I think that Mr. Beast is a horrible person for making his Squid Game video. No, I do think, though, he's going to hear something from somebody's lawyer at some point, but I also think that it is a good thing that Mr. Beast gave money to someone who needed it. At least I'm hoping that the person actually needed it and it wasn't a situation where he could have gone with or without that much money, And I think Mr. Beast in general is a very charitable person, but I also think that in his videos, he humiliates people time and time again for them to earn money. And a lot of the times they earn this money because they literally about to be homeless or there's something horrible going on in their lives. And they get on a Mr. Beast video and they get to be made fun of, but at least they get money, I just think that's a little messed up. I think that's a little, not right. I also think, though, that the fact that I'm making this video right now is because Mr. Beast is literally one of the biggest creators on YouTube. And I think it's almost kind of like with the James Charles effect. I made a video on that a while ago. I probably deleted it because I'm not a James Charles fan anymore. But being a huge creator means that everything that you do, you get put on a microscope. Squid Game in real life is a trend on YouTube, and I believe his Mr. Beast video right now is trending, I think it's number 2 or 3. I think that if Mr. Beast wasn't a huge creator, and let's say for instance he was a really small creator, no one would be talking about him right now. No one would be critiquing him like they are, and they'd be critiquing some other YouTuber. I just think that while I appreciate Mr. Beast for giving money to someone who needed it, I'm presuming, and giving money to everyone pretty much who was in it, aside from the ones who didn't get the $2,000 or the $4,000, and I believe the second place person got $10,000. That was so nice. And obviously the original Squid Game, they did not get that. They just got dead, but I think that we shouldn't just critique Mr. Beast for Squid Game. We should critique people in general for recreating a Squid Game. We should critique people for not understanding the point or just trying to capitalize off of a bunch of children who know nothing about the show and they see Squid Game in real life and they're like, I've heard of Squid Game, and then they watch it. I just think that it's a bigger issue than Mr. Beast making a video. But I do hope he doesn't get sued or anything like that, because it was a really good video to watch and I was honestly skeptical when I was watching it. And like I said, I was one of the people that was so pissed he was making a video. Like, I tweeted about it. I was so angry, and I still am upset that he did it, but I also understand why he did it, you know, and he at least gave money to somebody, you know, and they weren't just a bunch of YouTubers, and it wasn't just like someone who didn't need it, like it was a random person, you know, and who knows what he's gonna do with that money. Honestly, I hope he lives a great life. But I guess that's my video. I don't really have much else to say, but if you liked it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, because it helps little old channels like mine just a little bit. Make sure to also subscribe to me if that's something you would enjoy. If you've watched it this far, that means you like me just a little bit, so why not subscribe? And yeah, I mean, comment down below and let me know your opinions on Mr. Beast making a Squid Game video, what you think about this whole Squid Game in real life, you know, thing we got going on right now. And yeah, I guess that's literally it. So make sure to stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys.